Yesterday's announcement was an admission by Attorney General Garland that they have not been truthful. Department of Justice hasn't been truthful with the American people, and it goes right to what you just said, is that he did not have the authority to make the decisions, as he said in that October 7th, 2022 meeting.
So that gentleman right there is one of two whistleblowers. Gary Shapley is his name, from the IRS, reacting to the appointment of that special counsel. His attorney is Mark Lytle. He joins us now, and sir, good morning to you. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Bill. Good to be with you.
Where would we be without the testimony of these two whistleblowers?
It's pretty clear, Bill. First, thanks for having me. It's pretty clear that there probably would have never been a plea deal or even an effort to resolve this case without the whistleblowers coming forward. And I'd like to point out one little fact that came out in the pleading that was filed by the defense, and they have 4 law firms on this case representing the Biden family. They referenced in their pleading yesterday that the prosecutors reached out to them in May of 2023, just this past May, to give an invitation to initiate plea discussions. That's a pretty crucial fact when you look at the timeline of what was happening with the whistleblowers come forward. If you recall, I wrote a letter to various committees at Congress on April 19th of this year, noting that I represented a whistleblower who wanted to come forward in a major investigation by the Department of Justice to discuss conflict of interest and possible false statements by a presidential appointee. On May 24th is when Gary Shapley first came forward and revealed that he was a whistleblower to come forward. The timing is precarious when the defense says the government reached out to have a plea in May, the same month. It makes it sound like they were never going to charge this case, but then because the whistleblowers were coming forward, they decided to just see if they could get this thing resolved quickly. And they moved too quickly, and they made a bunch of mistakes, like they've made mistakes throughout the investigation.
Mark, could you react to Congressman Goldman? This is what he said Sunday about Weiss becoming the special counsel. I want to get your take on this. Listen here.
David Weiss, the Trump-appointed U.S. attorney in Delaware, was right all along, that he did have ultimate authority. And when he requested special counsel status, because the plea agreement has broken down and he may have to charge Hunter Biden in outside of his own district, which he requires additional authority to do, he got it.
How do you react to that?
Well, I think we're hearing different statements from Mr. Weiss. I mean, Weiss has come forward and said, first, he wrote 3 letters to Congress. He said the first letter said he had all the authority he needed to charge anywhere, anytime he wanted to. And Attorney General Garland was echoing those comments, that Weiss had all the authority and even more authority than a special counsel has. Then he wrote a second letter saying, well, it's common practice to consult with U.S. attorneys in other districts, to partner up with them if you want to bring a case, and only in those circumstances, if that's denied, would he seek special counsel status. Well, Gary Shapley, if you recall, his October 7th, 2022 meeting, that was that red line meeting where Weiss told him that, and other executives with the law enforcement agents, that he tried to bring it in D.C., he tried to bring it in L.A., but he was refuted, he was denied. And he sought special counsel back then, authority from DOJ, and he was declined for that. And so these statements are bouncing all over the place. When Attorney General Garland said that Weiss had more authority than a special counsel, is in fact that he's now been appointed as special counsel. Does that mean he got a demotion? I mean, their statements don't make sense with each other, and they're across the board. And really appointing Weiss as special counsel now really doesn't give confidence in the American people that this thing's going to get done the right way, under the facts, under the law.
Let's try and squeeze in 2 more. Go ahead, Dana.
I was just going to say, do you think that the timing and the appointment of David Weiss as special counsel is suspicious?
Well, there's so much history under the water over the dam. I mean, the blocking of investigators' efforts to try to get to the bottom of any connections, following the money, any connections with the father, blocking those steps, and then coming forward now and appointed him as special counsel. He's the wrong person. I've always called for a special counsel in this case so that somebody neutral could get to the bottom of the facts and charge the facts under the law, but also
But
not
people
just
would
that,
argue that Weiss
but
is not
review what
neutral
happened under
because he
Weiss.
has been on this from the beginning. Quickly. Without the House hearings, many of this stuff we don't know. Now that you have a special counsel, do the House hearings happen? Does Weiss appear before a House committee at the end of September as he's scheduled or not?
Well, I don't work for Congress. I don't work for the Department of Justice. But it seems to me Congress has the authority to force people to come and testify under their oversight authorities. And I think Weiss has to come forward. But he's already invoked in a letter to Congress that he couldn't talk about ongoing investigations.
Right.
So we're not expecting an open book from him.
Okay. Mark, terrific. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
on. I mean, obviously, we got a lot of questions, and we're still looking for answers.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.